Ark Survival Ascended is a land full of wild prehistoric creatures, surviving in mostly peaceful unison. The island takes us back to where Ark began, with regal Basilosaurus and the terrifying Megalodon. The waters are a place for only hardened survivors, and cheaters and exploiters. Oh look, what is that? Oh yeah, this is the wild Duper dog rat in its natural habitat. It finds a crack, and it places some tech vacuum compartments and a TP out of tribe to teleport loot to the other tribe with public TP settings. What is a duping dog rat's natural habitat, you might ask? Well, that habitat is Ark Survival Ascended, its new home it has found. And since Wildcard and Snail Games dropped the game way too early to meet release deadlines, releasing an unpolished, barely playable mess of an early access re-release of a game for 60 Australian dollars, this is the mess we're left with. All to make money to cover their dirty publisher Snail Games mistakes. So why is it so messy? Well, due to these duping dogs, the official game's economy is ruined, and Wildcard is always too slow to respond. So the duping dog roams free, and even though the exploit may be fixed, the fruits of the duping dog's labor stays far longer. This dupe has actually been available since December the 9th, so that's around 3 weeks that people have been duping, at least 2 weeks from our knowledge on our server specifically. And only last night did the devs actually roll back the servers. They rolled back the servers 12 hours to fix this issue, but that is nothing compared to how much people have already duped, and the mitigation is minimal here. The only thing they served to do here was wipe out 12 hours of hard-earned Ark players' time. This is disgusting to see, when we've made multiple tickets in advance of this, letting the devs know that there was a dupe about. I personally DM'd the devs to let them know there was a big dupe going on and offering my help to tell them how to do it, to fix the issue, and obviously that went on to deaf ears and fell on deaf ears, as the devs are not fond of me calling them out so often. But it needs to be done, because this is what happens when we don't call them out publicly and we try and do things quietly, which is what I was trying to do up until this point. But none of that has worked, so now we have to put them on blast and expose these dirty cheaters on our server publicly so that something actually happens. Shadow Stake and Salt Distribution on our server have been exploiting this dupe for the past 2 weeks, and this is footage of Raiden wiping their dupe bases. From the main tribes, they would give these alt tribes vacuum compartments and teleporters, generators and element, and items to dupe for resources. None of these alt tribes had any boss, but only Gamma Dragon to use small TP, which means they can't have placed these items, because the main tribe would use a character to place them and then leave. Each time my tribe raided these dupe bases, they would find artifacts only available from Salt and Shadow's caves, which they had locked down with main bases. And the gear on the bodies were always crafted by the main tribes, Salt or Shadow Stake, in each separate dupe base, as both these tribes had separate dupe bases on our server. This isn't even to mention the fact that about a month and a half ago, we reported Ruby, a Shadow Stake member, for speed hacking with clear evidence, and nothing was done to the tribe Shadow Stake. The tribe name should be enough evidence, as no one can copy that tribe name, as it'll alter it with a number 1 at the end. They kept their tribe name and never changed it. So it astounds me that these guys got this far to begin with, and that they weren't instantly banned when one of their members was speed hacking, which is not something you can hide from the rest of the tribe, which means they're all guilty by association. So I made my ticket 4 days ago at this point with no response, and I messaged the devs privately in DMs about it. I tried to keep this private because I don't want to make these videos. They just ignored me as usual, and I have no one else or no other way to message about this, or no other method to get messages out about this apart from tickets, and nothing has happened to these guys 4 days later, and my ticket hasn't been answered. And what does Wildcard do? They do a 12-hour rollback on servers to fix this exploit that has been around for 2+, probably 3 weeks. And it's such a band-aid fix when tribes on the server now have infinite resources already. This exploit has been around for a long time, and the economy on official servers is ruined at this point. And it's once again a cheater's paradise, and I am just so sick of this. And the issue mostly stems from the same thing over and over again, which is response time. Response time is always the issue, and there's no way for people to communicate adequately with Wildcard and get an adequate response when their ticket system takes 4 days to get replies. There's no one we can talk to about these tickets to get a quick fix. It's such poor communication as usual, and poor running of the servers and policing. If we as a community had a faster response time on tickets, this stuff would get fixed far quicker, and we wouldn't get these issues. And there would be far less people duping. But my tickets are still averaging 4 days before getting responded to, and it's not good enough for us paying customers who bought this new Ark remake with good faith, thinking the devs would do a better job. The guys who are duping on our server will probably get off now because the ticket wasn't answered fast enough to catch them in the act, and now the dupe method has been patched and they've got all the resources out, so it's going to make it far harder for the devs to catch them, and that's why I was reporting this privately, so that the devs could catch them in the act if they checked the ticket in time. But going public is the only way to get this stuff fixed, so I'm going to be doing daily checks on whether Shadow Steak and Salt are banned on our server and letting you guys know over on Twitter, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and on my Discord, and we'll see how long it takes the devs to actually ban these dupers on our server that are probably going to try and use all this dupe loot to raid us at this point, but they'll fail because they're really bad at the game, and that's why they have to resort to cheating. But I will say, to their one and only credit, they did answer and ban some teamers on our server after I spent 2 hours heavily annotating a video so they wouldn't just ignore it and making it clear for them. But this ticket took 4 days to get responded to as well, and this isn't often the case. As on Twitter today again, we saw someone with footage of a speed hacker, and the response from Wildcard was the evidence is not enough, but the footage had the tribe name of the tribe in the video, so that should be all the evidence they need if they respond fast enough. But too often these tickets are getting closed citing not enough evidence, but if your video shows the tribe name, that should be enough. This video is mostly just to say that this isn't acceptable. By the time Wildcard answer tickets, the cheaters have done the damage, they've meshed the base, or they've done the dupes already, and there's no proof left of what they did. So this is my way to say, please Wildcard, look at our tickets faster and look at these tribes, although they've probably got rid of any proof, so you probably won't ban them. Do something to restore our faith and let us know if you're able to catch these dupers, because silence says everything. When you say nothing, we don't know that you are doing the work. So celebrate the banning of these dogs, let us know so we can see something is happening. This system of answering a ticket and not communicating whether a tribe is banned or facing consequence isn't working. Rust, for instance, tells players if their cheater has been banned that they reported. So please do us the same. Communicate with us. Tell us if you're going to chase down these dupers, and it's not going to give them advantage. They've already done the deed. They know you're coming already. Just give us something that shows that you care and shows that you're doing something. And also, turn off public TP settings on small tribes. That'll help a lot as well. Never again should we get to a point where players who are playing legitimately lose 12 hours of their game time due to your negligence. And do not release the center map until you have this under wraps. Cannot release more official servers if you cannot adequately police the current ones. Hire more team. Get more help. 12 hours of wasted time due to your negligence. That is absolute bullshit, and it needs to change. Wildcard. Answer tickets. Answer your community. Do better.